Hey, everybody. Today, I wanted to break down briefly what I did for my free 5-day challenge group that just ended. And this is part of a 3-part series about my challenge. So stick around. You're listening to Marketing Tips with Meliss podcast.
Welcome to Marketing Tips with Meliss podcast. And now your host, Meliss-Ep.
All right. So creating a free challenge group is a great way to get people in the door and to learn about what you do, give them a taste of what it's going to be like to work with you, and then also close some sales. Also building lots of relationships along the way. And the sales that don't close are still going to be people who understand you in a whole deeper level and may keep you in mind for the future. So that's how I birthed Thanks for the Clients, my first free challenge group, and it was on fire. Next podcast, I'll tell you exactly how it went. But in this podcast, I want to tell you what type of planning went into it. And let me tell you, it was not easy. I went back and calculated, and I spent 167 hours planning for this challenge. Now, that might sound daunting or crazy or insane, and let me add some more insanity to that. I did it in less than 21 days. I don't recommend you do that unless you're crazy like me and you have a lot of time and you don't like to sleep. Otherwise, I would say stretch this out over 6 weeks at a minimum. But the good news is it's done. The challenge went amazingly well. And if I choose to run this challenge again next time, 80% of the work is already done. So some things to think about. Also, doing a challenge group may or may not be the next right step for you. It really depends where you are in your business, who your target market is, what you're trying to achieve, what your final project or package rather is at the end. Is it a course that you have? Is it a program that you have? Is it something else? And there are many different ways to market all of these things. Doing a challenge is just one of them. So with all that being said, there are pre-launch planning things that need to happen. So here you're going to talk about what is your offer. You're going to figure out the dates so that you can schedule them on your calendar. When does your challenge run? When is the cart open? When does the cart close? And that's just like looking at your schedule and seeing your client schedule and your family life, your personal life schedule, because you need to be very involved the whole week of your challenge and the week leading up to your challenge and the week after your challenge. So look at the calendar and see when something like that would fit. Then we have to plan the content. This is like what you're actually teaching each day of the challenge. And I did a 5-day challenge, so I taught every single day, but everything built on itself from the previous day. So you have to map out and craft your content for each day. You also have to think about, from a copywriting perspective, what is the hook? How are you going to get people in the door? What are you going to tell them that you're going to cover each day? So for example, one day I was talking about content. I didn't just call it content. I called it positioning content to attract your tribe. And all of these hooks are based off of what my target market's problems are right now so that I could come in and be the solution. So you need to think about that for all the days of your challenge. And honestly, that was pretty challenging. You also need to create a registration page so people can register, and you need to have the copy there and figure that out. Then you need to think about your offer. What are you offering at the end of this challenge? What are you going to pitch? What are people going to buy? And you're going to have to create a webinar, which means you're going to have to stack your offer. You're going to have bonuses involved, fast action bonuses, other bonuses. How can you sweeten the pot more and more and more and even more? And that is also pretty challenging. You need to compile all of your testimonials. Do you have past clients that have gone through and helped? And really figure out what all of that is. Of course, you have to have branding. So figure out like the look and the feel and is it aesthetically pleasing, and what are you going to put on your Facebook cover photo? And what are you going to put on your Facebook promo picture on your profile page? And are you going to put something on your business page? And do you own a Facebook group? Are you going to put something there? And are you going to have a workbook? If you are, you got to do the digital side of that too, not just the content of the workbook, but also the design of the workbook. And maybe you need to have posts every single day on your business page, in your personal page, in your Facebook group. What is that going to look like? Also the posts every day within the group. So a lot of graphic design goes into this. I had events every day, so I had to do a design for all the events. I had slides every day, so I had to do slides. Those are all graphic designs. And then of course for the webinar, there was a whole slide deck for that. So that was pretty challenging. And then there's the email sequences, which I highly recommend you write in advance and schedule them out. And there were pre-challenge email sequences for people who were already on my warm target list. There were pre-challenge sequence emails for people who were brand new, who were coming in through Facebook ads. Again, if you're running Facebook ads, that's another branding asset, another digital graphic asset that you'll need to create. Then there's emails during the challenge, then there's emails post-challenge. So I had about 20 something emails that I had to create, and they were all done in a way that pulled people in, written with the copywriting, wordsmithing type of style, lots of stuff going on there. And then I also had a messenger bot. Similar to matching the emails, I had to create a messenger bot message that was going, the first day and announcing we're going live now, and then announcing that the doors to the program opened, and announcing here you can grab the workbook. So there was a whole messenger bot sequence that needed to be created, and I think there were like 27 something messages for that. Of course, they're segmented, same with the emails, so certain people are getting certain ones, but you as the creator of the challenge needed to create all of that. Then we're talking about funnels. This is how people register. I already mentioned the registration page, but you need to have a registration page funnel, maybe a replay funnel, which I had so that I could take people to a replay page. We had a contest running. You could do a contest funnel for that as well. Of course, the sales page when you're ready to pitch something at the end. So lots of funnels need to be created here. Then you need to actually create the group, the Facebook group. Come up with a name that fits for what you're doing. Get people in the group. You have to optimize the group, which means you're answering all the questions and filling out all the settings. You got to get your group rules. Are people coming into the group and having to answer questions? You need to figure out what that is. You need to have a description there, a welcome message, a welcome post, maybe a welcome video. Lots of different stuff that you have to create in there. How are you going to welcome new members? Also, how are you going to welcome new people into your program? You'll have to create maybe a digital graphic for that, or at least the copy of what you're going to post. And you could schedule posts in the group as well. And then if you're running Facebook ads to get people in there, you need to write the copy for the Facebook ads. And I'd recommend you have a long form post copy, a short form post copy, and then another long form and short form post so that you can split test. Check 2 or 3 different headlines that you can split test as well. You have a segmented list, so you can segment your personal friends, and you can also segment from your business page, maybe people who've come to your website, maybe people who have seen your Facebook Lives, just so you can split test the audiences as well. And then you'll also want to create some retargeting ads. So once you've opened the doors to your program, you can have retargeting ads that come in. And then it's time to launch. And when it's time to launch, you have to get really excited in that group. Maybe you'll need a helper to come in or a few people to come in and help you with your group to keep the excitement going and to stay on top of it. You need to post about the content that you'll be teaching each day and just keeping everything up to date and sticking to your calendar, which is challenging if you don't put it on your calendar. There's so many things that can get lost, and you really want to give your participants the most amazing experience possible. So the more organized you are, the better the experience is for them. And if the experience is great for them, then you get to just show up as the talent during the week of your challenge and teaching all that great amazing stuff that you have to teach. Some people are going to connect with you better than others, and those people are going to be the ones that trickle into your offer. And then after the launch, you want to get feedback, ask people how it went. You could also go in there and go live and do a Q&A about the program that you're offering. So there's tons of stuff that is required in this challenge. I was challenged by creating this challenge. It was the most amazing experience. I loved it so much. I don't know if or when I'll do it again, but it is definitely something that is high on my list of things that I have done in my business and absolutely loved. So I hope this helps you a little bit in case this is something that's been on your mind and you are wondering, do I want to run a challenge? How do I run a challenge? Is it the right move for me? A lot of hours went into it, so that's a big consideration up front. And if you're just starting out in your business, the challenge is not going to be the best way to go because, for example, you need probably about 15 testimonials at least, and they need to be amazing testimonials. And people from your past programs, which means you've had to have already run this program, need to come in and do interviews and talk about their experience. And so if you're brand new and starting out, you don't have those things. And if you don't have those things, that social proof is so important. Social proof is how you make more sales, because think about when you go to a restaurant, don't you look up, like, what did people think about this restaurant before we go try it out? That's just the natural human way to do it. So if people are trying to get into a program that you have that you're asking for a lot of money for example, and you have no social proof, you won't be making any sales. So save this challenge for a time in your business when you're at that level where you've run your program a few times or people have bought your course a few times. You have testimonials, you have things that you can say, success stories. And then this might be a good time. Also, you need to look at your calendar and see if you can fit this much into your work schedule. It was an amazing experience and I absolutely loved it. And this podcast is part of a 3-part series. So next time I'm going to talk to you about how the challenge actually went. And then in 2 podcasts, we're going to talk about some tech issues that doesn't have to pertain to a challenge specifically. It did in this case, but you can apply that to your business as well. All right, I hope this helps and I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening to the Marketing Tips with Meliss podcast at www.marketingtipswithmeliss.com.
Wait, before you go, if you think you'd like to work with the Meliss marketing team one-on-one, I invite you to apply for your first class strategy call. This process is just as much an interview for us, seeing if you're a great fit for our agency, as it is for you, seeing if we are your great fit. Unlike other agencies, we only take on clients we know we can help. So if you think you're ready to get support with your content creation, lead magnets, sales funnels, and/or Facebook ads, let our agency help you take your business to the next level. Each month, we open up just a few spaces on our client roster for your opportunity to be able to work with our amazing team. Apply now at go.melissmarketing.com/apply, and we look forward to speaking with you soon.